I live down the road from a school and a few blocks away from a second school, which means it's often pretty difficult to get out of my driveway in the morning. And there was one morning I needed to get to a first aid class. I'm waiting to turn left, and thankfully someone was nice. They let me into the line. I wave a little thank you, get into the line, look down at my GPS, and I realize that it's telling me I need to go in the complete opposite direction. I'd much rather go that direction because it doesn't have me sitting in traffic for 10 to 15 minutes. But now I'm sitting there worrying about keeping the person in the car behind me happy. I'm stressed out thinking that if I turn around, they're going to think that I'm unappreciative of their kindness. Thankfully, I did turn around in a driveway, went the other way. Don't know what the person in the car behind me thought. They probably didn't think anything about me at all. But it got me thinking about how many times we do things big or small that we don't want to do because we're trying to keep someone else happy. How many times have we stayed in a position that we didn't want to be in, or gone in a direction that we didn't want to go in? There are a lot of different reasons why we people please, and all of them end up hurting us in the end. One reason many of us end up becoming people pleasers is because we're not confident that our needs matter. A lot of us, when we're very little, we start to learn that we need to try and keep our parents happy, possibly our siblings, probably our friends happy. We might have felt like if we asked for what we wanted or even for what we needed, that we were being selfish. And we often carry that idea and those habits into adulthood, where we feel like if we ask for something or put our needs first, that we're doing something wrong. It's great to be altruistic and be kind, but it doesn't mean that you never have to think of yourself or that you always have to discount your own feelings or your own needs or wants. Sometimes it's a case of looking for external validation. A lot of us find our value and our worth in what we can produce or provide for other people. That's kind of the message that's sent from very early on, that your worth is found in what you do. Think about even a lot of the time when we introduce ourselves, people will ask, oh, well, what do you do? A lot of the time we're looking for that validation from other people that we are of worth or we do have value we're producing. And it's great to be giving, but not when you're giving up pieces of yourself to please or prove yourself to other people. Some of us have a hard time saying no because we don't like confrontation and we're uncomfortable with difficult feelings or conversations. I'm one of those people that I have a very difficult time standing up for myself because I don't want to have those hurt feelings. Sometimes though, the road might be smoother in one direction than another, but maybe the bumpy road is the one that you need to go down to get where you need to be. For a lot of us, the reason that we people please is because we fear disconnection. And that goes back to those hurt feelings or those difficult conversations. Why do we not like to have those? Because we fear disconnection. We fear people not talking to us, our family ostracizing us, our friends not including us if we upset them. And for humans, it's a really big fear to feel like you might be excluded from the group. If you think way back in time, it was a survival mechanism. You didn't want to be on the outside of the group or you might not survive. And so a lot of us still have those instincts, but it's important to remember that we've evolved. Hopefully we've evolved and we're not in that position anymore where we need to keep everybody happy or we're not going to have a place or we're not going to fit in. It's still human nature though to want that connection and to feel pain or feel uncomfortable when we have that disconnection. When I was a kid, I got pretty adept at giving my mom the silent treatment because it worked so well. If I asked, say, for a friend to sleep over and my mom said no, I knew if I stopped talking to her, she would pretty quickly cave and give me what I wanted because it was so uncomfortable. Now, mind you, that's when I was a kid. Now I'm an adult, but a lot of adults give the silent treatment because it does work so well, because people do not like to have that disconnection. It's a safety mechanism from way back when to try and keep other people happy, but nowadays it can hurt us in a lot of ways. As humans, it's important for us to have that connection, but it can come at a cost sometimes if you're people-pleasing and you're going against what you feel is right or what fits with yourself and your true identity to please other people. I talked earlier about how as kids we learn to please our parents and our family and our friends. And why do we do that? It's because we fear disconnection. When you're young, especially, attachment is so very important. And when you have to choose between attachment and meeting your own needs, you're going to choose attachment because at that point, that's your biggest need. And if you choose attachment over and over and over by ignoring your needs, you're eventually just going to learn to push your needs aside because you want to keep that attachment. When you think of the things that we reward when kids are little or that we look for in a good little boy or a good little girl, it's compliance, being quiet, going along with whatever other people want, keeping other people happy. And when you choose over and over and over again to stay attached to people by keeping them happy, that just becomes the norm that you grow into. The surprising reason that we people please that you might not have thought of and you might not want to think of is that sometimes it gets us what we want or what we think we want, or we think it will get us what we want, whether that's praise or recognition or pity. Sometimes when we make other people happy, it's because we want to get something out of it in the end as well, which sometimes is okay, but it's important to be honest with yourself why you're doing something and also to realize that you might not get the results that you want. Maybe it's staying late at work because you want to get a promotion, or maybe it's giving in and helping a family member out financially every time they need it so that the next time you have a family get together, you can point out to everybody how you were so kind to help this person out, or everybody should pity you because you're always helping this person out. Sometimes we people please for self-protection, even if it's misguided, and sometimes we do it for self-promotion. But even if it's more understandable to people please for self-preservation reasons, both kinds end up hurting us in so many ways. In the next video, I'm going to share how people pleasing ends up hurting us, and many of the ways are probably not what you've thought of before. But what did you think of this video? Did you agree or disagree with some of the reasons that I shared for why we people please? Is there anything that you feel that I've missed? Leave it in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Next video, I'm going to share how people for us to want to peep. What the frick is peep?